Hi, everybody. It's Angelo Caruso. I'm on with my pal, Rosh Sillars. We're both in southeastern Michigan. How are you, Rosh?
Wonderful. How are you doing, Michael?
Doing great. It's good to be with you again. You are the man on YouTube. I have not seen so much productivity from a single guy on this channel in so long on this platform. And I just know you have so much to share. I appreciate you being on and sharing some video marketing tips with us today.
Yeah. Hey, it's a favorite topic of mine, as you know, so I'm looking forward to sharing a lot of great information today.
For those of you that are watching at home, you probably should pay attention to us, but we are going to be looking at YouTube screens to make sure that we not only speak intelligently about this, but we want to share our screens with you during this call so we can show you exactly what we're talking about. One of my big complaints on these calls, these types of calls, Rosh, is that everybody speaks very quickly and they're moving because they're so familiar with the interface.
Sure.
And I'm just learning it, which is why I'm on the tutorial. And then when they get done, I can't remember half of what they said because it doesn't connect in my brain. So we're going to go slow enough for people to connect, but fast enough not to bore anybody. Deal?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay.
You're good at that, Michael. You're good at working through those things and making them understandable. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So the reason YouTube is now a thing, and I realize, a lot of kids are dropping out of school to become YouTubers.
Yes. It's like one of the #1 things kids want to do when they grow up. Forget policemen and firemen. It's YouTuber.
Well, they finally realized, man, I am never going to be 6'8". I'm never going to play basketball, but I could be a YouTuber.
Yes.
And so they're figuring out how to work the network. They're figuring out that views means influence. Influence could mean free stuff. I mean, that's the easy point of entry, right? You could affiliate very quickly with a big following.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. They'll send stuff right to your door.
Yeah. And the other thing is that we know that you can, if you've got a platform like products or services, YouTube or video marketing is perhaps one of the best ways to market it. Because it cuts right through. Video can be very, very interesting, especially if you've got a nice appeal, or you're videogenic, or you know somebody on your team who has an aptitude for this.
Right.
And so let's get to it, man. Let's talk. So let's open this conversation right away by saying this is not just you and me talking. We both study this. You study it a lot more than I do, YouTube in particular. You've been talking to some guys who have magnificent numbers. Tell us about who you're following, and by proxy, whose information are you sharing with us today?
Sure, and I know you want spelling. We'll have to look that up on some of these, because I'll start with Tim Schmoyer. Good luck on there. I think it's SCHMOYER or similar, and he's been around a long time. Daryl Eves is another person. These guys have a few 100,000. Roberto Blake, that one's a little bit easier. He's a good guy, good for creative folk. A couple new people to the game. Brian G. Johnson is excellent. He's somebody I've connected with quite a bit. And Nick Nimmin, who is really just on fire. He just hit 200,000 subscribers, and he's been doing this maybe 2 years now. So,
and you mentioned this Evan guy?
Daryl Eves, excuse me.
No, there was an Evan somebody, I thought.
Oh, yeah, Evan Carmichael. So we were talking about Evan because he does a business and marketing channel. He has 1.3 million subscribers, and he was nice enough. I've had the opportunity to talk with him a couple times, and he's a very good guy, just a giving guy who comes up with a lot of interesting stuff. And he breaks down quite often. He has different types of videos, but sometimes it's just success ideas, and he believes in this one word called believe. I mean, believe is his one word. He's all about the one word, and so he's out to help people become great entrepreneurs. So he's a good guy to know and to listen to.
I always tell everybody my one word is Russian, and I can't pronounce it. It's so difficult to market that way. By the way, just to give some relative numbers, I love the thing called the relative number. You just said Evan passed 1 million subscribers?
Yeah, Evan Carr, he's up to 1.3 now. It didn't take him long.
How many subscribers do you have, Mr. Sillars?
Oh, do I have to say aloud? I like to put it this way. I am 7 away from my countdown to 1,000.
And I have 1,021. So
nice.
This is what we're saying, everybody. And we're pretty successful on YouTube, relatively speaking, to most people in the population. Evan has 1 million. The other guy you mentioned 100,000, 200,000.
Right.
So we need to understand what you're up against here, because in the early days of YouTube, it was rather easy to get this done. But now there's a lot of noise out there.
There
So
is.
you've got to find a way to bring it. We're going to talk later about how just posting your YouTube video to Facebook won't get it done either. So lots of valuable tips coming up in this session. So now you've got some other names that you can go to and research these guys and follow them. Subscribe to their channel. Subscribe to Rosh and my channel on YouTube. And we'll all learn together. Everybody's been really good about teaching each other so far, and I'm grateful for that. Let's give some other quick analytics, Rosh, before we get going. We know that 1,000 subscribers helps you monetize your channel, but you also need to get a certain number of hours.
Right. 4,000 hours over a year.
4,000.
4,000 over a year.
Running 12 months span.
Right.
So what you do for that is it'll tell you how YouTube will tell you how many hours your videos have been watched in the last 30 days. And then you can, I don't know if it's a logarithm or how you do the math, but you just multiply times 12 to find out if you're going to have the good
yeah.
at the end.
There's a good tool called vidIQ, and it actually has a countdown on there. It'll tell you how many views per hour, 7 days, and so forth. And it also has a clock on there how many annual views, hours of views you have. And so that's a nice little tool just to keep an eye on it. So
okay. One of the tricks for getting views is to create a binging culture with your following, so that rather than have them watch isolated 2-minute videos, that they would go to a playlist that was so intoxicating it would be like watching all of the episodes of Breaking Bad in one weekend.
Right.
And so you'd be at a certain playlist and they would click the first one and it'd be, oh, that's pretty good. So on playlists, you would recommend maybe what they call is it a power lineup like they do on Saturday Night Live, where the first skit is the strongest at 11:30?
Yeah, right. Yeah, a playlist, it can be, just a 3 or 4 videos up to maybe 10 or 12. You usually don't want, I have a lot of playlists. Some of them, I just put all my uploads in a playlist. So there's some variations of that. But for the most part, you want to have playlists of similar content. So if somebody's interested in cat videos, the next video should be a cat video and down the line. And if you are, say, if part of your strategy is to develop a following and develop yourself as an expert in part of your career or business to help get your name out there, well, then you would want to make sure that each one of those videos follows each other logically. If you're explaining maybe a 2-3 minute video on one topic that leads into the next one to the next one, and that way people will watch more. And one of the best ways to look at it really these days, just because as you mentioned, Michael, that there are so many people in this space, and as we're talking about, every child on earth wants to be a YouTuber now. So you have a whole generation coming up behind you who wants to be a YouTuber, is to niche down and to really focus in a specific area so you can cut through the noise. And when you do that, it's a lot easier. So look at your entire channel as a big playlist, and then even chop it up more into smaller playlists so make sure each video continues to support the other videos.
So you brushed up against another idea for those of you writing as fast as you can. Here, let's not move past this too quickly.
Sure.
The first idea was the playlist concept itself, which gets them to cycle video 1, video 2, video 3.
Right.
But a second tip is to label it within the titles of the videos themselves, part 1 of 3, part 2 of 3.
You can do that.
And you can also do that within the playlist so that they would watch like, I'm going to give you 10 tips. Here are 3 tips. In the second video, I'd have 3 more.
Right.
And in the third video, I'd have the 4 remaining.
I might just label the playlist that way. There's actually, Michael, debate whether you put, number 1, 2, and 3 on there and if it's valuable or not. So it depends. I mean, you have to remember it's all psychological. And to me, it makes sense. But some people will say, no, don't do it for other reasons. So the best answer, as always, when it comes to this digital world, test it. Test is the answer, because maybe your audience appreciates, oh, here's all 10, and oh, okay, there's number 6, and so forth, or it's helpful. They know where they left off.
I had a discussion with my brother the other day, who's not, I think he's battling the psychology himself, because he doesn't want to be too heavy-handed. That's within everyone's definition, right? Everybody defines it differently. too heavy-handed about asking people to like his videos or share his videos or click on his videos. You know, he's shy in that way. I'm not sure this is for the faint of heart. I think you've got to be a little bit pushy.
You do, you know, it's just like any kind of sales situation where you say, well, you know, if you're going to be someone who's going to be a salesperson, I don't like to be too pushy. You know, I want to give the customer room. And then you ask them how their sales are, you know, and the person that you're like, man, that guy's so pushy. I'd never want to be like him. How's his sales? You know, or how's her sales? So the point being is that, yeah, you know, there, and of course, in YouTube, there's a debate about that too. You know, should you ask, and when should you ask? Some people like Tim will say, ask at the end. You should ask. You need a call to action. And honestly, those people who made it all the way through the end are more likely to actually subscribe. Others would say, you know, you introduce your topic, 15 seconds, have a quick transfer, then go in and ask for the sale. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that. And then others will say, hit them there and at the end. You know, so honestly, probably more is better if you do it well and if you do it smoothly and naturally. But you got to ask for the sale at some point. That's for sure.
I think it was the great Zig Ziglar who said that passive salespeople have hungry children.
Yes. And I can hear Zig's voice saying that too.
You know, you got to put some steak on the grill, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the tricks, you and I have talked about this many times, one of the tricks, if you want to call it, and with trick, by the way, everybody, for our definition here, we're never taking advantage of anybody, right? This is not about user.
How about tactic or strategy?
Bait or switch. It's like David Copperfield trick. It's a magic trick. Nobody gets hurt here. The woman doesn't actually get sawed in half.
What?
Yeah, sorry. One of the tricks for getting this engagement is niching, and you would niche way before your video ever gets to the YouTube channel, because when you pick black cats instead of all cats,
right?
In my case, I happen to teach sales training and leadership, so I can niche on those two things. But there would be people that argue, no, you should let one of them go and just focus on one.
Right, especially in the beginning. Until
you have a following, people know who you are.
Right.
But, you know, in my case, if I start to become known a bit as a success coach, then I can have a leadership channel or a leader channel, and I can have a selling channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can do both, and people do. But, you know, if leadership could be part of what you're doing under success, it could be a branch. You could say, in other words, have playlists on leadership, and maybe 4 out of 5 of your videos are on success, but 1 out of 5 is on leadership, and that playlist continues to grow. So people looking, because honestly, it's hard enough to grow one channel, let alone 2 channels, and your channels will develop authority, and it'll be easier and easier over time. YouTube is exponential. We talk about, you and I, flirting around that 1,000 mark. Now we add subscribers a little bit more faster than we did when we had 50. And when we have 5,000 and 10,000, it'll be even easier to add even more subscribers. They'll just keep like a snowball rolling. And the same thing goes for placing in search. Part of that whole process, when YouTube is deciding where to put you, when you say you have a topic on sales, maybe sales coaching, if you have a specific topic on sales, if you have more authority than somebody else, and that authority is developed on what they call watch time. So it's not necessarily subscribers alone, but subscribers help lead to that. So if you have a lot of watch time on your channel, you're more apt to be put up into the front of the line. Now, in the beginning, if your video doesn't hold, then you're going to slowly move your way back, and better videos will move forward. And we can talk about how that all works as we move forward in this conversation. So
not to hammer the nail too many times, but what most people do is they err on the side of not being niche-y enough.
Right. Yeah.
So again, back to my situation, or people that do what I do, they're in leadership training, or they work with supervisors and managers, but they also do training for sales teams.
Right.
What you could do is just merge those two and just do a channel for a YouTube channel for sales managers. Now,
Sure.
that's niche, right?
Right.
Now you're not talking to average salespeople. You're talking about the people who manage salespeople.
Right. And that's kind of what I've had to learn myself, quite honestly. For example, I've had many business topics on my channel, and I've formed. I knew going into it that I really needed to niche down, and I didn't listen to my own advice, and I paid the price. Eventually, I finally found a little more of a niche where I can still have a lot of latitude. Let me give you an example. I do have 2 channels. And when I was originally going to start my channel, it was going to be pricing for photographers, because I was doing some seminars on pricing for photographers. And I thought, wow.
By the way, a little footnote, Rosh is a very talented photographer. He did it for many, many years, still does it.
Yep. And I support the community with business and social media and so forth, the photography community. And so I was in that. One of my biggest articles and one of the things people asked me to speak on is pricing for photographers. And so I was doing these webinars, and I was putting them on YouTube for kind of storage, what I've been doing for years, like many of us do, starting off storage. YouTube, hey, what a great place to store videos, not thinking about the other potential. And I'm guilty as anyone else. And so I decided, no, I just can't do pricing for photographers alone. I got to do more. So I want to just do everything. I know niching's better, but I'm just going to do it. So I just got into talking business and marketing all across the board, from every topic I could possibly think of, working my way down over the year. Eventually, I settled on, without getting too long into the making this too much more of a conversation, I settled on marketing strategies. And so if I can't call it a marketing strategy, or it's not a marketing strategy or related to marketing strategies, I don't talk about it. Now, on the weekends, I do some tutorials, which are very helpful on my channel to support marketing strategies, like looking at the analytics and things like that. But the weekdays, when somebody looks at my channel, when I made that adjustment, within 60, 90 days, YouTube upped my, the promotion of my channel. I'm getting more subscribers every day than I've ever gotten before, because it is clear when somebody looks at my channel, all the videos, it doesn't matter what they found me for. They look at the recent videos and they say, wow, marketing strategies. Look at that marketing strategy and another marketing strategy. And so they do know, and it's very clear what the channel is about.
Good.
So let me just take a step back. So a year passes by. I did a video every single day, and I decided to try that pricing for photographers channel. And I launched it in November. Highly niched, hyper niched, and it took off. And it was growing 3 times faster than the other channel. And this was before I niched down to marketing strategies. The problem is that I didn't have the heart to keep it going at that level. And that's where you have to weigh it all. And I guess that's why I give you this long story. Niching is better, but if it's so narrow that you're going to give up in the long run, then what good is that?
Right.
But if it's too broad that you're not going to get anywhere, what good is that? So it's a struggle, and it's a balance. You need to figure out what is right for you.
So I think it's fair to say that even if you're on YouTube to make money, that it's got to be something you have a deep and long passion for.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Because even if you are making money, you're going to get so tired of doing it. If it's not your passion, you won't be able to fake it.
Yeah, this is a marathon. I mean, a lot of people quit after 3 months. They get in, they think, I'm going to get going. Hey, and I know people start around the same time as myself, getting serious about it. They have 10,000 followers, 15,000 followers now. I know one with 50,000 followers, and we started at the exact same time. It is dependent on so many different things. One, how well you niched, your personality, and how well you create your show. And of course, the topic. Obviously, business and marketing, there are a lot of people out there talking about this. Most of them have well under 1,000 subscribers and do not get much further. But then there are a few.
That's why the 1,000 subscribers threshold came about. YouTube didn't want it to be something that was so easy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, say that again. What?
That's where the number 1,000 subscribers came about, because YouTube didn't want to make it too easy to monetize, because they actually give you their money. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and they feel that they know what your channel is about by that point. Once you've had that many hours of people watching your videos, they know what type of people are watching, what in where your videos place, in the YouTube ecosystem. And they figure if you've earned 1,000, you've gotten somewhere. And that's always been a good psychological level on YouTube, and YouTube does recognize that number. And 10,000 is another one. 50, 100, you get 100, you get a silver play button. You get a million. The silver play button is a big deal. A lot of us aim for that. That million.
Not on a monochrome monitor. It's not.
That's true.
Hey, let's open up a YouTube screen.
Yeah.
And show people some cool stuff. I want to show off your great title cards because you're kind of famous for this, and I think it's been a big part of the appeal. We said earlier, everybody, that it's important to be appealing, and I don't know how Ross feels about this.
Can I do something and kind of show you? I have Photoshop out, and I can kind of show you what I've been doing and how I create them. And
well, in the interest of time, let's just see the panorama that you have on your channel now.
That's fair. Okay, that's you.
You tell you what, we'll do another session another time and talk about the creative process.
Yeah, that's fine. I totally understand. Okay, so here we are. These are my videos, and
so look at this, everybody. You notice some themes here. First of all, the colors are absolutely garish. Rosh, you will never decorate my condo. Secondly, and I don't know if this is on purpose, but because a lot of people batch their videos, you're wearing the same shirt in a lot of them. That's on purpose, right?
Yeah. I tend to use that red shirt for a lot. It's worked well. I've had other shirts that I just didn't think kind of popped and worked very well.
So again, psychology, everybody. This is counterintuitive. When I do videos, I'm the opposite. Oh my gosh, they've seen this shirt before. So you have to think like a marketer and not like a real person. Which is a bizarre thing. Because a real person wouldn't use these colors.
Right.
Example number 2.
And let me be honest on in terms of color and so forth. The key here is to use colors that pop out.
Yeah.
And so in other words, I want to look and see what the other people are doing for that search term, and then do colors that are much different. And generally, you want to stay away from a white background, black background, stay away from red, stay away from the YouTube colors, and do some things that are above and beyond. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what works. And some of what you see here, especially these newer ones, I wasn't doing them like this. The reason I am doing them like this is because of the new analytics that YouTube now offers us. I can see these are the types of images that people click on. These are the types of thumbnails that people would click on. So that is why they're like this now, and it's working. And my click-through rates are much higher, which is an important part of the formula.
So let's just talk about the one in the upper left corner, your 6-month business checkup. What I'm hearing you say, Rosh, is that this graphic is a little piece of sushi, right? It's got all these special ingredients, and every one of them is there for a reason. So if I did let's do a quick game show exchange.
Yep.
I'm guessing you read or heard that a cartoon character is a clickable entity, yeah?
Yeah. It's turned out that way. Logos are better. Like if you see in the middle, you see Instagram. That's related to something that somebody is looking for. So that made it a lot easier.
I don't actually see an Instagram logo in that graphic. Is it so small I can't?
The middle, right here. Do you see this one, the very middle?
Oh, sorry. I was looking on the upper left.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm sorry. The middle one. I moved over on you. For a while, I had a lot of pictures of me, and I saw that things weren't working so well. So what I decided is to make a lot of them where there's this smaller picture of me, because it is known that a face a human element is really important. But I thought, okay, my human element isn't something that people want to click on so much, but I want to have a human element. So I was putting other things in there. But then when I realized, no, I needed the face, but also kind of the cartoon or another element that will support the topic, that was the key for me. And I'm sure a year from now I'm going to have some other elements, but this is where I am now, and I'm getting much better clicks, and that's really important.
So listen to what Rosh is saying, everybody. Here's a pretty good looking guy. His photo's not bad. I love all the different expressions and stuff. But what Rosh is saying is that Facebook logo that you see in the middle. Can you put your pointer over there on that?
This one here?
Yeah. That Facebook logo is more recognizable than Rosh's face. And Rosh has to get past his own ego to make his photo smaller and move it up into the corner, and then put the big Facebook thing.
Yeah,
but
right.
a lot of marketers don't think like this. They think, well, I'm the star of the show, and I have to be center stage all the time.
Right, right, absolutely. I mean, look, here's the combination. YouTube wants people. So here's the thing: the people, and this will help explain it. People say, okay, well, then I'll make just a crazy thumbnail with an awesome, weird headline that'll get everybody to click on it. Okay, that's fine. But YouTube has a two-part system here. One, clicking. Two, how long do you watch the video? So if people just click and then go 1 second in the video, move back, your video is going to move forward. So let's go back to that authority conversation we just had. So let's say we just have a rush moment and we just, do a 1 minute video that's absolutely horrible, and we throw up this awful thumbnail, but we have authority. So YouTube throws it up pretty high in the beginning because traditionally we've done really well, but no one's clicking it. No one's clicking it, and the people who do click it go right back. Eventually, that video is going to start moving back. Now, for those of us who don't have a huge amount of authority, it's the opposite. We start at number 50. And so over time, YouTube tests our videos, and that's why sometimes our videos don't pop for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And that's very common for a video that you had out there, nothing really happened, and all of a sudden one day it has thousands of views. That's right. Because YouTube tested it once again under a different group of people, and it won the day, and you're moving up the ranks.
A few questions. I'm noticing some numbers under each of these thumbnails. Remember, everybody, each thumbnail represents a video. The view numbers are small because the videos were just posted recently, but there's the number of views, the time frame when the video was posted.
Yep.
So the top row, 3 hours ago, one day ago, 2 days ago.
Yep.
There's a 100%.
That is likes versus dislikes. So
okay.
Yeah, that's what that is. If you go look at the older videos or more popular videos, a lot of them are videos that, like this Facebook. This is a tutorial. This is 34,000 views.
Holy crap! And
this one is moving up pretty good, and Twitter a few thousand. So I have a number of them with some views. This one is coming up with 500 a day. I mean, this how to change your Facebook should probably, I would assume, in the next year or so, the way it's going, will hit 100,000, which is nice. Now you can see the evolution of my thumbnails. Early days, 5 years ago, I wasn't even using a thumbnail. I wasn't putting anything up there. Here, this is a system I started using later, and you can see this form I started using. I kept just moving, but here's the problem. For years, for all this time, we had no idea. We had a hole here. We knew how long. YouTube would show us the retention rate of people watching our views, but the problem was, let's say you put out 2 videos and both got 50 views. Which one had the better thumbnail? You have no idea. One of them may have been shown to 1,000 people, and one may have been shown to 500 people. Well, obviously the click-through rate on the one only shown to 500 people was better, but we had no way to know that. Well, now we do. And that's why you see this evolution and how much I've changed over time in terms of what I'm doing. I'm even going back and updating some of my old videos that have a good audience retention, and updating the thumbnail, and that gives it the right combination for it to pop down the road. But not every video is worth saving. Some are just not liked by the community. Everybody, not every video is a winner. So there's some ways in which you can tell which ones are worth saving.
Do you have any videos of you with hair?
Yeah. this one, kind of, a little bit there. I think that was before I totally shaved. Oh yeah, look at this one. This was in Las Vegas 7 years ago when I was speaking down there.
So these thumbnails that we're looking at, they're called cards, correct?
No, these are called thumbnails. Cards are a different element. Cards are the little dot you would see up here. Let's say it would be something like this while the video's going, and it would give you a title, and it's a link to something else, maybe another related video or something And it's good to put cards in your video. Even the suggestion is from the very first second, have a card, something for people to click on. If they lose interest, at least they would stay within your ecosystem is the idea.
The card could be a website?
It could be a website, but that would take them off platform. But yes, it could be a approved website, I believe.
What would you use if you didn't use? We understand that YouTube does not want you to take people off of the platform.
Right.
What could you put as a title
to a card?
Oh, sorry, as a card.
Yeah.
That would not take them off the platform.
To another video. So, for example, you can, how we talked about taking them from one video to another. Maybe you have a series of playlists. So maybe you have a series of 7 videos in a playlist. You could have, say, 3 or 4 cards going on in that video that would take them to other related videos in that playlist. So that would continue the watch session, which would be positive for your channel. Excellent.
Can you open up a video and we'll talk quickly about the 3 places to put tags?
Yeah.
To optimize. This is called optimizing the video. So many people still to this day putting YouTube's videos up or videos up on YouTube and not optimizing the videos for people to see. It really does stunt your growth in terms of views and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So this is one I launched over the weekend. Now, see, there are a few ways to look at this. Say, wow, there are not a lot of views in the beginning. Well, it's really because of the type of channel. You saw some of those videos had thousands and thousands of views, but let me assure you, they look just like this a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think everybody gets that.
Yeah.
I don't mind showing people where I am today. They're going to watch this video in 6 months or a year and say, "Oh my gosh, look at all the progress these people have made."
Right. So what you do, obviously, you have a choice of thumbnails, and you can put your card right here. Just pull it up, and then it's good to put especially early in the game. It's important to use your keywords. I mean, it always is, but there's eventually a point at which you have such authority you can put "Hello, my name is Joe," and it's going to rank somewhere, and people are going to watch it. But in the beginning, there are 2 ways to be found, and that's YouTube promoting you and YouTube search being the second largest search engine. And so Instagram Insights is what I'm going for here. So I put that in the beginning, but then I also have a promise, which will help get the click. And so that's metrics to grow your audience. And sometimes you can have a catchy phrase or something more to that. That's fine. Probably more catchy the better, as long as you deliver on the promise. And then from here you have description. Make sure you fill out the description. Longer the better. This one could even be longer, quite honestly. And then you have your tags.
Excuse me, Rosh.
Yes, sir.
Longer the better, because longer means it should be replete with keywords.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. More detailed. I mean, use the keys that YouTube gives you. You have room for 5,000 characters. There's a reason for that. So if you can fill that up, as long as it's relevant, why not? So a mini blog post can help out. Now, some people find the value higher than others, but I guess I'm looking at time versus other things I want to do to help my video.
So Rosh, are you just, I think, answering another question for everybody? So if it's 5,000 characters in the description, can we ascertain that it's 100 characters in the title of the video up above?
Correct.
That you've used 49?
Yep. And 50 tends to be about a perfect point these days. See, it's just one of those numbers. Around 50 is a good spot to be, because you also don't want to dilute the keywords in your title, because your title is probably the most important thing out of the 3. I mean, topic is number 1, but as far as SEO goes,
plus, a lot of people are mobile now, and a longer title gets truncated.
Sure.
If you reverse that title and it said metrics to grow your audience, Instagram Insights wouldn't even show up on the cell phone.
Right. So Instagram Insights, that's good in terms of the SEO. So the thing is, you want to do good SEO in the beginning, but down the road, it's going to be YouTube's algorithm that rules the day, meaning it's not going to look at so much. Over time, your SEO tags and titles mean less and less, and YouTube will focus more and more on what humans are actually doing. And so that's really important. So if you can change stuff, you can update your description down the road. You can update your your thumbnails and tags. Unless you're going for a major overhaul, don't ever touch your title. Once it's there, leave it.
Why? What happens?
It's going to change the whole paradigm of your whole video and how it's almost resetting it. So I guess if your video is not doing anything, if it's what we refer to as a dead video, okay, fine. But if you have a video that's doing well and is getting good clicks on a regular basis, and you're just going through and updating stuff to improve the health of your channel, don't touch it if it's doing well.
But it won't change the views because I've changed titles before.
No, it won't change your views, but it'll take you back to zero. In terms of, I mean, it doesn't mean you can't bring it back again. Maybe if your title is good, but
okay, get it right the first time. Is Billy Joe?
Yeah. I mean, changing the title is the biggest risk to sinking the progress of that video.
Okay, let's get back to keywords.
Yes, sir.
Instagram Insights, we've identified as 2 keywords that are really important to this video. So you put them first thing in the title of the video.
Yep.
And then the first 2 words in the description of the video. And the third place, I assume they're down in the tags, Instagram Insights. There it is.
Yep. 1, 2, and 3.
What is that number 42.4 in the tag section?
Well, this is using a tool called TubeBuddy. And I believe right now, if I searched Instagram Insights, I would be number 17, and which is pretty good. It's been going up. These numbers weren't even here. Insights Analytics, I was in the 20s before, or not even listed. So this is good news to me. That means I'm slowly moving up. In other words, people are clicking, people are starting to watch it, and it's snowballing. And so that's a good deal. This is TubeBuddy telling me where I rank based on where I am, based on what it looks like from my account. It could be a little bit different from somebody else's, because you have to remember that YouTube also ranks things based on your interests and your watch history. So it's not the same for everyone, but it does give me an idea. Okay,
so for people watching, TubeBuddy is a free tool or a paid app?
It's both, but you can get the free tool that would show you these basic things here. But yeah,
the things that we're seeing here, are you paying for these?
Some of it, but what we're talking about now, no. Okay,
very good. On the right side of the page, it said something about 11 of 12 best practices. Is that also a tool?
Yeah, TubeBuddy here, best practices, also vidIQ. So there are I have 2 tools running right here.
And that allows you to, it's like a little template, and it's color between the lines kind of a thing for success, right?
Right. And I don't pay for vidIQ. But there are a lot of nice tools within vidIQ. I do have, there are multiple levels of TubeBuddy, and often they'll have a special where you can get like the pro version for $39 a year or flat or something like that. And I've done that. There's another very interesting tool called Morning Fame. It's in Morning Fame. It'll show it's a young guy out of Seattle, and a lot of us have really embraced him. He's been developing this over the last year, and it really helps you pick out your titles and your tags, and helps you with your description, especially with the keyword. There's 2 parts to it. There's regular Morning Fame, which is well, I'm not going to get any more deeper. Anyway, the point being is the keyword tool that's also available with it that he just released out of beta. I was a beta tester for it for about 6 months. Is just tremendous, and it really helps you and guides you and says, look, it'll even help you find titles in your niche. It'll give you grades. It'll say, okay, the chances of you ranking for this topic based on your authority and where you are is very low, but here's some options. And you can try this and that. So
this is Morning Fame, FAME.
Yeah.
Okay. Rosh, would you go back to your homepage on YouTube so that we can show everybody some more features?
Certainly. Let's see. Do we want to go to the homepage, or do we want to go to analytics?
Let's do home for now.
Okay.
Please.
No problem. Let's see here.
And there are some tabs in the homepage. So the first one is videos, and that's where we were just now, where you could, let's block this out for them. There's a featured video. It's called a trailer, I think.
Yep.
Which is the one we're looking at in the lower left of the screen.
Yes.
How do you decide which video should be your trailer?
In this case, I picked one that had high retention rate and people like to watch. And it also explained the channel. So this is 4 marketing strategies to help you flourish in 2018. Marketing strategies were the keywords. 4 obviously being a big number. To help you flourish in 2018 was the promise. So that's what I did. It went really well. I had a really high retention rate, meaning people really watched it. And so I put it in there.
If you're watching at home, you can guess why. He says there are 4 strategies. So if you're clicking to get 4 strategies,
right.
There's a thing in psychology everybody called the Zignarik effect. And it was named after a woman who discovered that people do not like to leave stuff unfinished. So when you tell them there's 4 strategies, they're going to hang in there for that video. This is what Rosh is trying to tell you, that thinking about doing this in the original title, not changing the title later, in the original title is what's going to get you that view time that's going to put you into that coveted space of 4,000 minutes, right?
Yep. 4,000 hours.
4,000 hours, of course, hours during a 12-month period.
Right.
The other, click on the other columns, the playlists. We talked a little bit about the value of segmenting or niching the videos so that people can binge watch.
Yep. I try to add a new playlist every month.
Okay, so stop slow for a second so people can take this in. So on the first complete row, what you're seeing here is that, there you are, Best of Rosh Sillars. Let's start there. There are 8 videos. Help me with your mouse, Rosh, so people can pick this up.
Right here.
Yeah, it's going to change, I guess, when you mouse over.
Yeah.
There are 8 videos in this playlist, 4 in the one titled Quick Marketing Plan, 3, etc. And I was shy on playlists initially. I didn't even have them. And then I started to realize, oh my gosh, I got a ton of videos here. How can I get organized? I wasn't even thinking about getting more viewing time. But it turns out this helps people understand you, and anything you can do to help people understand you is good news.
Absolutely.
Let's do some more of these tabs. Channels, please.
So channels, these are subscriptions, friends of channel. Oh, there's a friends of a channel, which I now I put on my front page too. So these are kind of featured people and people that I follow, my subscriptions. General discussion going on.
I didn't even know about that.
Then
a lot of action on the discussion.
Pardon?
You get a lot of discussion, a lot of
comments. Yeah, comment wise, I don't have a lot of comments on mine, which is important. That is also a signal. So it's good. When I do have comments, I always make sure I respond. I think it's really important.
For sure. It's like not answering a ringing telephone.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
By the way, people don't do anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have a discussion tab. I wonder why.
I wonder. Well, they are getting rid of something, and I don't want to dive too deep into this just because my knowledge is very low on what's happening right now. I've heard there. Because I heard they're getting rid of messages or a section, as you see, but they just added this tab, which is messages. So it's more of a social. So what I understood is they're getting rid of this, and now there it is on the top portion. So I'm not sure.
This is why we do these calls. Things are changing all the time. We're all learning from each other.
Yeah.
Let's finish up with the About tab, which is the equivalent of an About page on a website.
Yep.
Again, you want to load it up with a bio and keywords about what's going on with you. You'll see Rosh, his total number of views, how long he's been on, since 2007. I don't know how many people actually visit About pages, but the algorithm could answer to it, correct?
Yeah, and also there are some other things. You can put keywords in for your entire page too, which is something to consider. This is also, people do look at the About page to figure out what you're about. So you want to make it very clear, that headline strategy, marketing strategy channel by Rosh Sillars. Okay. If somebody only gets that far, I'm okay. And then there's more information down here. So make sure you don't bury the lead here. Make sure people understand what it's about when they hit that About page. Believe it or not, people do come here. They go to your video page and they go to your About page to learn more about you before they hit that subscribe button. So they're important to make sure that it's attractive to people.
All right, let's do one more thing before we leave the screen share and close with some tips about using videos on other platforms. Would
Sure.
you please open up my YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be your guinea pig for a minute. And we're going to do the similar tour. You can do it much quicker if you want. Just your Rosh Sillars expert commentary on what's happening here so that people have something relative. Like I don't use nearly as many thumbnails as you do. And I'm sure you're going to say,
Right.
come on, Caruso, get it in gear. But just your overall impression about what you're seeing here, because this is the kind of thing you do for clients, right? You're available to help people grow their businesses. So give them a flavor about how you work.
Sure. Well, immediately I'm going to look at, obviously, your header. I want to make sure I understand what you're about. Everything is a presentation. It gives me a good clue. I see you on stage. I have a relatively good understanding, but I'm also biased too because I know who you are. But some things you could certainly add are when you upload, how often you upload. That's certainly something to consider. Make sure, again, your about section is, we'll go back to the videos in a moment. Your about presentation skills are key to your success. You know, Angelo Caruso teaches, yeah, see, this is perfect. This is what you're about, what your site is all about. So I would know immediately what that's all about. Now, the next part is going back to the videos, which is probably the second thing people look at. And so I'm wherever you are here, that's where that niche is. You can start to branch off, but I'm going to make judgments right now. Is this here matching up with this up here? Mm-hmm. And am I confused or not? I'm going to say possibly. There's this. I like this thumbnail very well. I do see a lot of presentation stuff in here, so that's positive in the sense of, okay, presentation guy, the guy's presenting. What's he presenting about? Okay, and that's where I would go from there.
But the thumbnails would add more certainty and tie it all together.
Exactly, make it more clickable and so forth. I'm desperate to show the analytics on this to give people a sense of this. So because this is really important to help you understand the value of these thumbnails and so forth. So here are the new analytics, or the new studio. And what we have here are our analytics. And YouTube now shows you, here's the watch time. The very first thing in this list is watch time. That means it's very important to YouTube. And then views. Subscribers there's an element, but that's really not important. Subscribers are important in the sense that when you have subscribers these are people who care about you, they're going to go right to your video, especially if they hit the bell icon. That drives views, which drives velocity of your channel growth. I mean, or view growth. So the point being is having subscribers is like having your own team to help you get your video out there. And the more they come and watch, the more YouTube's going to show off your video.
Yep.
Now, what is really nice, this is the part that was missing. Okay, this is how many impressions I've been given over the month from YouTube. I never knew that before. They've shown my video 52,000 times over the last month. No clue.
Is that number different than the views per month?
Yeah, these are just impressions. This is how many times my video has been shown either on other locations or like in the end cards on the side that you've talked about. All the places that your videos can be shown.
Rosh, scroll up. What is the other relative number? How many views? Or I guess it was on the other screen. How many views did you have in this period?
Let's see.
13. No, that's
17.1, which is down a little bit. But I had a couple pop last month. So
7.1, right? 7,000.
Excuse me, 7,100 views.
So I'm having trouble understanding the difference between 7,100 views and 56,000 impressions or whatever it was. 52,000.
Okay, so I mean this may be based on different numbers, 28 or 30 days.
Yeah.
So let's give YouTube is not going to have exact numbers, but this number, let's agree that this number is very close. 6.9 is very similar to 7.1.
Yes.
Okay. This out of these 52,000 times YouTube showed, or actually a third of that was from YouTube, and the other was maybe from search or other locations. Okay, we're just going to.
Oh, like it could be the right side of the screen.
Yes,
recommended
exactly.
videos.
Or at the end of a video, and then you see those 5 or 6 other videos you have options
Okay.
for, or embedded on another video.
Thank
How
you.
many times it's been seen? Well, out of these 52,000 times, YouTube promoted my stuff a third of that time. And so would it be maybe about, 18,000 times YouTube put it in those, gave me an opportunity to earn a view. My click-through rate is 6%, which is very good. YouTube says that, and if you would like more information, just click here. YouTube has some really nice information with these cards, and it will tell you exactly what these things are. So click on those question marks, and you will get more information. And so out of those 52,000 times, they were viewed about 7,000 times with a 6% click-through rate. YouTube says that 2% is the number. 50% of videos have less than 2% click-through rate. So if you want to be in the top 50%, now obviously it depends on the niche and so forth, but as an overall ecosystem, you want to be for sure over 2%. So if I see a video that is under 1% click-through rate, then that for me down the road might be a candidate where I will change the card.
The dead video.
Not change the card. I follow on that trap. Change the thumbnail. So I would change.
Would you change the title in that instance as well?
No, I would change the title 6 months down the road if it's completely dead.
Okay.
So to quickly look at a video, let's just look at this real quick. So let's grab a video. I think I know which one I want to grab. That's why I'm going down. So here's a video. This is an example of a video in which early on in the game, it wasn't doing so well. It had a different card in it. Right now, it's a 2% click-through rate for the last 30 days. Let's see what the last 7 days are. No, this may not be. Okay, see, it's 1 point. When my first cover, it was less than 1% click-through rate. But I noticed that, well, there's 50% of the videos, and I have some with 60, 70% average duration. So if I see there's a good average duration, but it's a low click-through rate, I might try to update the thumbnail, which will then quite often increase the click-through rate tremendously.
Okay.
So, and this I guess this is an okay example. But the point being is that that's what you can use and understand now. We had no clue before. And so now we have another tool in our toolbox, because remember that click-through rate is so important, because you could have a great video and the people who watch it really watch it. They like it. All the metrics are there. But if nobody's clicking on it, YouTube is not going to push you up the ranks, because it's not going to help YouTube.
So just to be clear, a click-through rate in an email is when you had a call to action and somebody actually clicked on the offer.
Right. Well, yeah. Or a click-through rate, or so basically it's 100 times. Every 100 times it was shown, a 2% click-through rate would mean 2 people actually clicked on it. So
to open it.
Yeah, to watch it.
Okay.
So so what I can here, let me show you this. Let me show you what some of my larger ones are doing, and what the click-through rates are there that are getting. So here's one on BNI. I actually rank very well for this one. If you type, this is a 6.8% click-through rate, and nice. So other ones, I think let's see, where's the Facebook one? Anyway, that one has a really high one, so I thought I'd show that. And this shows you, 12% click-through rate. So this shows why this one is being shown. The combination of
just to the aesthetics of the thumbnail and the title?
Yeah, topic and thumbnail. Yeah, in this situation, this is an old thumbnail I did 2 years ago. So maybe if I updated the thumbnail, I could even improve it. But the thing
show us the thumbnail once more so people can tie this together in their own mind.
Sure. So This is the thumbnail. And this is just a selected by YouTube thumbnail. I did not, this is before I started creating my own thumbnails.
Oh my gosh, that breaks all the rules.
Well, but it is relevant to the actual, it is relevant to what it is that they're looking for. And so I think that's why it's working.
It's also been up for a while.
Pardon?
It's also been up for a while.
Yeah, 2 years. So it's earned its stripes. It's getting the clicks. If people were not clicking on this kind of a thing because it wasn't exciting enough, but this is a tutorial kind of a thing. So in this situation, I still use kind of screen captures, but more with more branding.
Yeah.
For my newer ones, because I know this works. So it also depends on the type of video. But I bet I could increase that if I tried to improve it. But it pretty much sits as number one for the topic, so I'm not going to mess with what's working.
Attaboy. So we're getting into the home stretch here. I think we've given everybody a lot to think about. Let's finish up with looking at the traffic source that you were just showing in analytics, because we're going to talk about repurposing video on other platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. There was a screen that you were showing that showed a LinkedIn sliver that external sources. So most people are finding you through Google search.
Yep, which is a good thing to happen.
But only 2.4% are finding you through LinkedIn. And I know you're active on Facebook, but Facebook isn't showing up on this panel. Why not?
I bet it's part of this unknown infrequent area. And two, when you share a link from YouTube or any other platform from one social media platform to another, they really don't like each other. You really should focus on native and maybe even a trailer. So if, for example, if I wanted to promote my YouTube video, putting that link on Facebook, Facebook's going to bury it. And so are the other channels. You just don't get the same values if I took maybe the first or the highlight of my video and created a quick little trailer and uploaded that 30 seconds, minute to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You'd get shown a lot more because it's native video, but I could still promote my YouTube channel.
Let's break this down for people. So Facebook, everybody, is a business enterprise, and they view their mission in the world to gain money through advertising on Facebook. And so anything that you post on your Facebook channel that would take them off of Facebook, Facebook frowns upon. It didn't used to be this way. And so what they'll do if you put a YouTube URL on your Facebook page, they will throttle it. That's the name of it. They will minimize it. So let's say you have 1,000 friends on Facebook, only 2 people will even see your post. Maybe not even that many.
Right.
Because they don't want people to leave. This is like the dirty little secret in Facebook. If people knew this, man, they'd be up in arms. Yeah. What do you mean you're not showing all my friends my video? Why am I bothering to post it? When this comes out, Facebook is going to have to answer for it.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people are leaving even Facebook pages. Facebook pages, I mean, your personal, you get more traction in your personal individual account. It's the Facebook page, the business page that they spent so long trying to convince us we needed. And now, we've gathered these thousands of likes and people who like our business, and now they won't show anybody our posts unless we pay for it. Yeah. So
just to, again, come back to some terminology Rosh was using, he used the word native a couple times. What that means is that you would take every video has a file, right? So in the same way you took a video on your phone and you uploaded it to YouTube, right? Yeah. That process is called native uploading. You're uploading that video only to YouTube, but you were going to cheat and share that upload to Facebook.
Or part of it.
Or part of it, no more. And you don't do it with LinkedIn now, or LinkedIn to a lesser extent. Right. And Twitter to even, I'm getting interested in the language. Twitter is more generous in sharing a YouTube link.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, I don't have exact numbers on how much these things are. I mean, we just have to remember the basic concept because they're all going this direction. Where they are in the process, I guess, is almost irrelevant because they all just don't want, even YouTube, when you put links in your description and people go away from YouTube because you put a link in the description like, hey, we've shown you how to do this. Now go to our landing page or our homepage. YouTube doesn't want to show your video anymore because you're sending people away. So You can do that once you get to a certain level because people use affiliate links and so forth. But when you're early in the game, don't have any links in the description.
So check the date of this video because all this information is going to be old in about 10 minutes.
Exactly.
But at this space in time, Facebook will be the most stingy about sharing YouTube videos.
Yes, that is for sure.
LinkedIn, I still have people commenting, so therefore they're seeing the video on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And Twitter, as far as I know, is throttling the least.
Yeah.
But like Rosh says, they're all going to get very, very stingy about sharing other people's platform. I think, and we can share this, save this for another time, Rosh, the next big platform will be one we're going to go back to zero again, and there'll be a platform that just allows you to share anyway, and they won't care because it's not going to be about making money on that platform.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, smart thoughts. I don't know. I mean, the people are trying, but Facebook is pretty good at squishing people. But hey, you know, they're squishing Snapchat now with their own system of stories. So
let's bring the screen back to just you and me, and we'll close out and offer a chance for people to interface with us in other ways. Thank you for the nice little tour there on both pages. I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me geek out. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love sharing that stuff.
So just to be clear, if you go to YouTube and you search, and you can do this with anybody, Rosh Sillars, ROSHSILLARS.
Correct. Yep.
All of his channels come up, but the one that you're interested in is called digital marketing, correct?
Oh, I lost you there.
Anyway, look for Rosh's digital marketing channel.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my thing cut out. Rosh.video will take you to the main YouTube channel, which is about marketing strategies.
And that's clever, too, because now have you tried sharing Rosh.video on Facebook?
Yeah.
And it'll share it.
Yeah. I mean, it's still about the same results. I mean, now that's what I would do though. For example, if I would have a trailer and put a trailer up and then put in the comments, if you want to see the whole video, you know, follow Rosh.video, or make the statement in the video. For more information, go to Rosh.video. So in other words, what Rosh.video does is it redirects people to the YouTube page. So you can have a redirect to any page you want. I could send all my traffic to Michael's page if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. You have control of the URL, so you can send anywhere you want. So I make it really easy. Rosh.video. And
people remember.
Very good. So we're getting ready to wrap up here. So if you want to know more about Rosh's services and how he can help you, it's roshsillars.com, everybody. And if you just want to model his success on his YouTube channel, you can just go to, as we said, Rosh Sillars' channel on YouTube. Look for the digital marketing platform, or Rosh.video will take you there.
Yeah, Rosh.video. Let me interject there. The roshsillars.com is my blog, and that's mostly photo related.
Okay.
Rosh.media will take you actually to the business.
Okay. I'm making some notes here too. I have no trouble finding you, but I'm glad you clarified.
Yeah.
If I can help you with anything, I know that I have a pretty good following among people who want to become consultants and speakers and that sort of thing. If I can help you, of course, you can check me out at michaelangelocaruso.com. And if you want to know more about how I'm doing my thing at YouTube, just go to my channel, Michelangelo Caruso channel on YouTube. I'm doing some interesting things, Rosh, and you've been very kind with your feedback. Thank you. Speaking in the round with unscripted video.
Yeah. Those have been a lot of fun, Michael. I've enjoyed those.
Thank you. It's compelling because most speakers, they're at a podium or they're doing preordained talking points, and I'm getting the audience to play for me. You talk about engagement. That's engagement with a capital E.
Yeah.
And so I've developed a little reputation for this thing called speaking in the round, and if you want to know more about that, you can check me out there. I do want to back up, and one more thing that's been bugging me since we've been talking. I wanted to get it right at the very beginning, and I've missed it this whole time. Let me make sure the viewers get this. That when you upload your video natively to YouTube, the only workaround right now that absolutely does it for you is you take that same video file and you upload it natively to Facebook, and then you upload it again to LinkedIn. LinkedIn started to allow native uploads.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do that on Twitter now unless I don't even know if Twitter has a live video, does it?
Yeah. Twitter live video is called Periscope. Twitter bought Periscope, so that's live Twitter. Yeah, you have 140 seconds of video. As you know, they doubled the word count, the character count to 240, but the video, as of my last check, was still 140. Are they planning to update it? I don't know.
So Periscope only allows a 140-second video?
No, that's native to Twitter. So if you upload a video native to Twitter, it's 140 seconds. But no, Periscope is as long as you're on.
Now you see why we do these videos. All these things are changing all the time. The Instagram stories was you can go as long as you want, but it's only 60 seconds on a native video to Instagram. This is changing all the time, everybody. We got to keep talking to each other and helping each other. And Rosh, I'm so proud and proud of your success and glad that we're video partners and YouTube learning buddies. Thank you so much for all your great tips.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Michael.
My pleasure. We'll see you again soon.